So I've been running for I would say like the past year now, like quite consistently, and it's definitely changed me. Like it's definitely changed my life in certain ways. But I'm not gonna talk about like the physical benefits because yes, it has physical benefits, but it's also like a mental thing. When you're running, you have like this mental thing where you have to keep pushing, especially like when you're not stopping. So if you're doing like for example a 10K, right? Maybe at 7K it's getting kind of tough and you just need that mental strength, right? To kind of keep pushing. And at some point you kind of get into like an autopilot state. And the one thing that you start to feel is maybe your body, but like your breathing starts to get on point. If your body might feel it, if your body feels it, then of course monitor it and don't push yourself like in that sense where you're gonna get injured. But there's a kind of state that you get into. It's like a steady state where you're just at a steady pace and you're just going at it, and then sometimes you'll push a little bit more. And that's why I really liked running. It's really just helped me stay focused. And I go for a lot of walks, right? I walk a lot, and walking has helped me. It's always helped me in general, but what walking does is it kind of helps me reflect on things. It kind of slows things down. I'm not working in front of a screen. I'm not in front of a screen typically. Like, obviously if you can use your phone while you're walking, but still you're still outside, right? So that walking has been beneficial in that state. I feel like with running, I've been able to it kind of elevates that. So if I need to like kind of slow down a little bit and I need to just take a little break from everything, going for a walk really helps me. But if I need like to let things go, or maybe I'm having a really stressful day, or maybe I just need a boost of like motivation, right? I just need a boost of like something. Running is that thing for me, and it's really helped me in that sense. So that's what I would say. If you are someone who typically, again, every sport is different, you can find, but I think that the moral here is you can use exercise for your mindset as well, because that's part of really what it is. When you look at professional athletes, like the top ones, part of it is also a mental thing. Like the best athletes, they're just their mindset and their work ethic. That's really what like pushes that's really what separates them from just the average. Like I remember Kobe was talking about this, where he talked about when he was in the NBA. So when he was in the NBA, it was so different to when he was playing in high school. So when he was playing in high school, it was kind of this thing where everyone was grinding. Like people were going hard, they were like pushing super hard because they knew what was at stake. They were hungry. They didn't have things. Like they weren't making millions a year. Maybe they were still struggling. Maybe they're still with their parents, but their parents were struggling. So there was a certain purpose behind it. But when he went to the NBA, he realized it was so much easier because people there were, it's just natural, right? It's like once you made it. Some people, that was their ceiling. That's what all they wanted was to make it to the NBA so they can feed their families. But then there's some people out there who want a little bit more than that, and those are the people that want the championship. So that's something to keep in mind. Like especially personally when I exercise, I kind of do it for that certain reason, just to kind of like, it's for like that boost of like dopamine, that boost of energy. Obviously the health benefits is just like a consequence of it. And I wasn't always like this. Like I kind of got into this more, I would say around 2020, 2021. Well, obviously before that I was more like physique based, but yeah, even now, like of course I'm focused on physique too, but it's really just for that boost. And that's why running has really helped me. It's kind of helped me be in a like a faster pace. Another thing, and this is kind of to end off, some people might be like, oh, why don't you play a sport like soccer or football? I say footy, but why don't you play footy, or why don't you play this sport, that sport, like a team sport? I like sports that are reliant on yourself. When you're playing a sport like footy, yes, you play a huge role, but at the same time too, you're still reliant on your teammates. And maybe it's because in the past, like, I never really had good teammates when I was like a teenager, so maybe that's what threw me off from playing this like team sports. But I like individual sports. So I like boxing, I like, running. I like these types of sports because it's you versus you. It's like really just your mind. Like it's a you versus you thing, right? So that's why I personally do it. It's a you versus you thing, and I do enjoy running. I've been better. I've been adapting. My body has adapted really well. I don't feel sore. I don't feel the pains or anything like that. So I'm actively just doing my thing, and yeah, that's really what I want to talk about. So if you need a quick boost, if you need some energy, maybe try to go for a run, experiment. If you need to take a break, go for a walk. And I'll talk a little bit more about the benefits of going for a walk and why you may want to start. So yeah, anyways, guys, feel free to check out my blog down below, sign up to the newsletter. And if you want extra coaching as well, you can check out my link down below. I have a Calendly link. It's going to be there for a little bit. It's quite limited. So feel free to check that out. Book a 30-minute call and we can see where you're at and how we can help you further. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to stay authentic. Peace.